The day I miscarried, Hudson was at Bella's side finalizing her divorce. His childhood sweetheart had a soft nature, easy to bully. 7 years of marriage, 3 miscarriages. Watching the blood slide down my legs, I still shook with terror. When I called Hudson for help, his voice was savage. Not your first miscarriage, quit the drama. Today is Bella's new beginning, don't jinx it. Only after I was discharged did I learn he had brought Bella home. She made a suicide threat, and I got there just in time. I can't leave her alone. Oh, and Friday we're filing the divorce papers. The man was impatient. It's just to humor the girl. Once she calms down, I'll remarry you. The childhood sweetheart was single again, so the childhood hero had to match her. I stared at his retreating back and laughed coldly inside. 7 years of marriage, nothing but a pacifier in a man's eyes. Remarry? Hard pass. Rotten fruit, I'm done. Before we continue, please subscribe and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. On the terrace I speed-dialed Dad. Dad, I've decided to take Sterling Blake. I'll be home next week. Good that you've come to your senses after your little rebellion. Dad's waiting. 7 years ago I'd defied my father and married the penniless Hudson. As I left the house Dad warned, once you step out that door, you're no longer a Vance heiress. I'd shot back, I don't care. Hudson will give me a lifetime of happiness. Reality slapped me hard. I lost everything. My proud vows became a joke. That evening I was packing. Bella knocked. She entered without waiting, cradling a white porcelain bowl. Serena, you just had a miscarriage, this will help. It was steaming brown sugar egg brew. I have no appetite. Hudson followed her in and ordered, drink it, Serena. I stayed silent a beat. This bowl could kill me. Bella's voice went fragile and weepy. How can you say that? Hudson cooked it himself, do you think he'd hurt you? Or, is it because I brought it? I reached to set it on the coffee table. I'll have it later. Before I finished, Hudson flung his arm. Scalding syrup splashed my wrist, searing pain. Don't eat if you don't want to, he snapped, then clasped Bella's hand. Let's go. Bang. The door slammed. I crouched among the shards of porcelain and splintered egg, clutching my scalded wrist, eyes brimming. Yet my heart was still as stagnant water. 7 years, and my husband still forgot I'm deathly allergic to egg. One swallow and I'd have gone into shock, throat swelling shut, life on the line. Staring at the sticky puddle, I laughed softly. So this was the marriage I'd traded everything for. I'd nearly died at his hand, and he hadn't a clue. Untended burns infect. I slid on my coat, heading to the ER. Behind me Hudson barked. Where to? I didn't turn, just bent to slip on shoes. Hospital. His gaze flicked to my swollen hand. I'll drive you. I hadn't counted on it. A ride share would be easier. Unnecessary. Move. He was already striding to the door. Hudson. Bella came running downstairs in a slip, sobbing, and threw herself at him. Hudson, I dreamed my ex came for me, I'm so scared. He folded her in gently. Silly girl, you're safe here. No one can touch you. She nestled against his shoulder, eyes glistening. Hudson forgot me and walked her upstairs, arm tight around her. No one can touch you. He'd once said the same to me. Years ago, when thugs dragged me into an alley, Hudson fought them off. A brick split his forehead. He arrived at the hospital in shock. Hours in surgery saved him, leaving an ugly scar at his hairline. Without him, I don't think what that night would have cost me. I looked at the blister on my wrist, lifted my keys, and walked out without a backward glance. Morning, 6 a.m. The alarm buzzed against my wrist. Make Hudson breakfast. I killed the alert and deleted it. 7 years of alarms, meaningless now. Sleep wouldn't return, so I rose. Past the laundry room I saw Hudson stuffing silk sheets into the washer, robe loose, hair dripping. They were from Bella's room. Our eyes met, he flinched and shoved faster, then slapped futilely at the machine when it wouldn't start. I stepped over, tapped the right buttons, water began to churn. Bella spilled water on them, he muttered. I kept walking. He trailed me. What did the doctor say about your hand? Nothing major, some ointment. He nodded, voice cooling again. Western breakfast today, Bella prefers it. I halted, raised my bandaged left hand. Order in. His brows drew tight. Bella's a guest, she can't eat takeout. Then she'll have to cook. I headed for the closet. Dressed, I descended to the clatter of pans. Hudson was actually making breakfast, something he'd refused in 7 years. Kitchens were dirty. Last night brown sugar brew, now sunny side up eggs and toast, hands slathered in ketchup, beaming. Morning, Serena, Bella chirped, then tilted her head. You didn't sleep. You look pale. A generous heart gives good color. Hudson set plates down, glancing at my pallor. Serena took in a stray kitten, so kind. Bella clasped her cheeks, waiting for her food. You're too trusting, Hudson said, handing her Hello Kitty cutlery. Eat, your stomach can't go empty. You remembered. Did you buy these just for me? He scratched his neck, a 30-year-old suddenly bashful. Picked them up when I got the brown sugar. She glowed. Then I'll use them every meal, promise you'll remember. Deal. She batted her lashes at me. Join us, Serena, it looks amazing. Hudson added, I didn't make yours. You don't eat sandwiches. I gave a thin smile. All right, he said. I skipped sandwiches because he'd never seen me cook them. He'd forgotten who really refuses them. Back when I still worked at Sterling Blake, I'd slapped together sandwiches before a meeting. Hudson scolded that I was a failure of a wife. If you're going to phone it in, quit. The company's stable, focus on being my better half. I didn't want to sit idle. But he argued, grabbing a quick breakfast proves you can't balance work and home. Today it's breakfast, tomorrow it's our whole life. Serena, this kind of thing puts a strain on a marriage. I loved him so much I didn't want anything to jeopardize what we had. So I quit my job and cooked every single meal for him. After that, no sandwich ever showed up in the house again. I picked up my purse and headed for the door. When I reached the foyer, I caught Bella's voice, faint but unmistakable. Hudson, do you think Serena's mad at me? I'm scared. What if she throws me out? This house isn't hers to run. Once the divorce is finalized Friday, she'll be nothing but an outsider. You can stay as long as you like. You're so sweet, Hudson. I'm divorced and depressed, so you're divorcing to keep me company. Silly girl. Sob. I want another bowl of that brown sugar egg brew from last night. Okay. Make a small portion, though there was so much left yesterday. I stepped out and shut the door. The sudden quiet felt like cotton in my ears. I left the house and went to the best Michelin-starred restaurant in town. I ordered the most expensive tasting menu they offered. I sat alone at a window table, river view outside, a grand piano inside, the notes drifting like perfume. Quiet, effortless, free. I'd already booked a consultation with a divorce lawyer for last night. He showed up on the hour. I told him I wanted nothing, just an end to the marriage as fast as possible. The lawyer felt I was selling myself short. Mrs. Blake, with Sterling his market cap and Mr. his personal fortune, you could walk away with at least 50 million if you fight for it. I shook my head. Not worth it. Arguing with Hudson for 50 million would only waste more of my life. The moment I walked back into the house, my phone pinged, taking Bella to the office. I didn't reply. I remembered the clothes I'd changed out of yesterday were still in the hamper, so I went upstairs to the laundry room. The silk sheets were still in the washer, waiting to be hung. I lifted the lid and yanked out the sodden bundle. When I gave it a shake, something light and white fluttered to the floor. I looked down. A lace thong, white, not mine. I stared at it for several seconds. Then I bent, pinched one corner with a tissue, walked to the guest room Bella was using, and draped the thong in plain sight over the doorknob. I tossed the tissue, scrubbed my hands 3 times, called property management to haul away the washer and the sheets as trash, and immediately ordered a new machine. That night I was packing when Hudson slammed the door open, eyes blazing. Serena, have you no class? I paused, slid the suitcase under the bed with my foot, and turned. What's wrong? What's wrong? He sneered. What's hanging on Bella's doorknob? What the hell do you mean by it? When did you become this shameless? I met his gaze, calm as glass. Just returning lost property. He studied me for a few seconds, more like dissected me. Serena, enough. I'm grieving the baby too. I lowered my lashes. Are you? My indifference ignited him. He clamped my shoulders so hard his fingers felt drilled into bone. I winced. Hudson, let go. Tears pooled, but I refused to look at him. He forced my chin up. Look at me. Tears slipped as he jerked my face toward his. Behave, Serena. I stayed silent, my eyes colder. He flung my face away. I didn't even blame you for losing the kid, why are you acting out? So the miscarriage was my fault. The baby was in your body. You failed to protect it. Whose fault is it if not yours? He said, looking down at me with thin contempt. A chill spread through my chest. Utterly irrational. He stormed out, the door crashing in his wake. The room fell silent, and another voice echoed in my head words he'd hurled after my first miscarriage. Serena, you murderer. You couldn't even keep my child alive, useless piece of trash. It was the biggest snowfall Riverdale had seen in 10 years. I knelt in the drifts an entire day, courting his first investment. I froze so deeply I never felt the bleeding, never knew I was already 6 weeks pregnant. When I lost the baby, guilt devoured me. I had no rebuttal for his abuse. For 6 months I sank into depression, shrinking to skin and bone. When Hudson finally came home and saw me hollow-eyed, he said only, "You look like death." Disgusting. The loss haunted me. 2 years later a second positive test gave me hope. I followed every order, stayed in bed, yet 2 weeks later the heartbeat stopped. The doctor blamed the prior trauma, habitual miscarriage. The half-healed scab ripped open. Grief swallowed me whole. Hudson was abroad. He offered a few bland stay strong sentences and hung up. That night, Bella posted an Instagram story, visible only to me, from a luxury hotel overseas. She leaned into the lens, nose dabbed with birthday cream, photographer's hand brushing her face, intimate, doting. Caption: Cake is sweet, and so is your love, Tilda. I assumed it was her husband until I zoomed in on the watch. The limited edition timepiece I'd given Hudson at our wedding, our initials etched on the dial. My hand shook so violently the phone smashed against the glass table. The day Hudson flew back I barged into Sterling Blake, screaming through my tears. Our baby was gone and he was romancing Bella on vacation, why wasn't he with me? He slapped me, called me insane, then had security throw the boss's wife out in front of the entire staff. Humiliation complete, everyone saw me as pathetic, crazed, disposable. Hudson stayed away half a month. I couldn't stand the Cold War. I apologized, brought him lunch every day, all his favorites. He hurled the boxes to the floor. Serena, the sight of you reminds me of my dead children. They were innocent, and they ended up in your poisonous womb. You killed them. You don't deserve to be a mother. Get out, never come back. I raised my swollen eyes, shaking so hard I could barely stand. Gathering the dented containers, I sobbed my way home, and never set foot in his office again. 10 days later he finally returned to the mansion. I'd learned my lesson, I never contradicted him again. From then on his word was law, and I erased myself from our marriage. I wiped my face, drew a long slow breath, and felt exhaustion seep into my bones. More than 20 years alive, and I'd never been this tired. While packing that night, I realized the photo of my mother and me was still in my former office. Next morning I went to retrieve it. Dust filmed the frame. I cleaned it, tucked it in my bag, and turned to leave. The elevator doors parted. Hudson stepped out with Bella on his arm. "What are you doing here?" he asked, tone flat. "Picking up something." Bella clung to his arm, syrupy sweet. "Serena, you could have just messaged me and I'd have brought it home. No need for the trip." I didn't even waste a glance on her. The doors opened again. I stepped inside. Hudson blocked them. I looked up. "Yes." With the air of announcing tomorrow's weather, he said, "Tomorrow night is the company gala. Lend Bella your pink diamond pendant. She's attending." I frowned. His expression said my question was idiotic. "The girl wants to have fun and see the world. Leave the necklace in her room." That pendant was my 18th birthday gift from my mother. I'd never let another throat wear it. Bella leaned in, pitifully. "Serena, don't misunderstand, I just happened to see that necklace and thought it was gorgeous. If you don't want to lend it, that's totally fine." The necklace was in the safe. Only Hudson and I knew the code. When I said nothing, Bella quietly tugged Hudson's suit hem. "I'll get it when we're home, don't forget," Hudson said coldly. My tone stayed calm and firm. "Not loaning it. I need it." "Huh?" Hudson frowned. What event could you possibly need that kind of jewelry for? Don't make things up just to avoid lending it, okay? I'm attending the company gala, I said. You? And why would you go? Hudson looked as if he'd heard a punchline. Sterling He had been founded by Hudson and me together. Before walking away, I wanted to attend one last gala and say a proper goodbye. I reminded him, I built that company with you. I got our first investment by kneeling in the snow for an entire day. Why shouldn't I go? After a long pause, he said coldly, Serena, what exactly are you throwing a tantrum about? Ignoring his irritation, I continued, since she's already seen what's in the safe, she can take whatever she wants except that necklace. Fine. If you insist on making this a fight, don't come crying later. With that, Hudson stalked off, Bella in tow. The banquet was held at the finest hotel in Riverdale. I wore a moon-white gown, the pink diamond pendant blazing against my fair, slender throat. No one expected me, jaws dropped in unison. Under everyone's stare, I stood tall, smiling softly and gracefully. I was the Vance heiress, the pearl cradled in my family's palm. Since childhood my parents had taken me to every elite gathering. Now, stripped of weariness and humiliation, I could tell from their eyes that I was still the Serena who sparkled. So Mrs. He is this gorgeous, how did we never notice? She outshines movie stars. Don't you know? Mrs. He is from the Vance family, one of the top 10 fortunes. She fell out with them for Hudson. No wonder she's a Vance. Serena, a syrupy voice called behind me. I kept my composed smile. Bella stepped up, arm linked through Hudson's. She stroked the diamond at her own throat. One glance told me it was at least 10 carats. Her gaze, nakedly covetous, locked on my necklace. I slid my eyes past her to Hudson. I'm going to greet the senior executives. Hudson stared for several blank seconds before stammering, let's go together. Bella tugged his sleeve, shooting him a look. He patted her shoulder reassuringly, then told me, Bella's a little nervous, let me stay with her. Can you chat with those execs for me first? I turned away indifferently. Take your time. I hadn't wanted his company anyway. Skirts in hand, I glided in the opposite direction. Those executives had been with the firm since day one. They knew both Hudson and me well. After some small talk, they couldn't hold back. Mrs. Blake, not to gossip, but what's the CEO doing bringing another woman to the company gala? You're too tolerant. Any other boss lady would have slapped her out already. Right, look at her hanging on Mr. Blake. Anyone would think she's the wife. I sipped champagne and smiled faintly. Hudson values loyalty. She's the little sister figure he grew up with. Only after the words left me did I realize, years of habit had made me protect Hudson's dignity. Seeing my stance, the group let the topic drop. Serena, what are you saying? Hudson's voice rang out, suspicious. Sensing the tension, someone said quickly, Mr. Blake, Mrs. He was praising your loyalty. Oh. Hudson stepped to my side, looking down icily. Halfway through the banquet, I was exhausted. Hudson read it. I'll have the driver take you. All right. I slipped into the car. I'm heading back. He gave a low grunt, then added, I'll come home early tonight. My heart was calm, still water. I couldn't remember when I'd stopped caring what time he came back. That's fine, work as late as you need. There's something I want to say, he added. I glanced at him coolly and nodded. Fine. The car pulled away. In the mirror, Hudson's figure grew smaller, then vanished. Next morning, sunlight spilled across the room. I woke to find Hudson hadn't come home. Neither had Bella. My phone reminder blinked. Divorce. Today was Friday. I gathered the documents and prepared to wait for Hudson at City Hall. But downstairs I met him just walking in, eyes bloodshot. Serena, Bella was drunk, I couldn't leave her. I cut him off gently. It's fine. I didn't wait for you. His gaze darkened. I lifted the papers in my hand. It's Friday, time to file. He stood frozen, clearly having forgotten. First thing in the morning, he asked, displeased. Got plans? Then afternoon, tomorrow, day after? I left it to him. He frowned but said, today. Let me change. I didn't even look at him. That suit looks sharp, keeps the handsome image. We'd shown up in t-shirts for the marriage certificate, no need to dress up for the divorce. Once it's done, I'll swing by the hotel and pick up Bella. After submitting the divorce papers, a 1-month wait made it official. Outside City Hall, my steps felt light. Hudson caught up. Serena, don't rush. Once Bella feels better, we'll remarry. I stared straight ahead, neither agreeing nor refusing. After we remarry, I'll go with you to the Vance estate and meet your father properly, he added suddenly. I stopped and turned. His eyes shone with sincerity. Your father looked down on me because I was poor. I should be qualified to enter the Vance house now. Pride oozed from him. I saw no respect for my father, only the need to prove himself. I studied his face and felt a stranger before me. The only thing still familiar was the scar hidden in his hairline. I looked away and steadied myself. We'll see. He nodded easily. Don't worry, I'll arrange everything. When I didn't climb into his car, he asked, where to? I can drop you. Home, I said. Not on my way to the hotel, grab a cab. The car sped off. The moment he disappeared, a Rolls-Royce slid out of the lot toward me. I recognized the plate, family. Serena, Emery is here to take you home, the chauffeur said. I smiled. Thanks, Emery. First, I collected my luggage, set the lawyer-drafted divorce papers on the console table, and placed the worn, dull wedding ring on top. I took one last look at the house I'd lived in for 7 years. Then I left without looking back. Dusk was falling when the car reached the Vance estate, golden light bathing the mansion, warm and healing. It's Serena, Serena is home. Wonderful, she's finally come back. Father walked toward me through the swarm of staff. I saw the new white at his temples and my eyes reddened. Dad, I'm back. Home, good, he said, nodding repeatedly. His face was still stern, but his voice ached with tenderness. You've lost weight. Don't worry, sir, we'll look after Serena's meals and plump her up like when she was little. Ellis chimed. I laughed through my tears. Ellis, I don't want to turn into a butterball. Serena is so beautiful. She'd still be the prettiest girl in the world even as a butterball. Dinner was nothing but my favorite dishes. Dad kept piling food onto my plate, terrified I might still be hungry. The chef stood to one side, quietly watching which platter I visited more than once. I smiled at him. Everything's delicious, Chef Lee, your cooking hasn't changed at all. His big shoulders loosened in relief, he rubbed his hands together. As long as the young lady enjoys it. I dropped my gaze and kept eating. I thought of the countless meals I had planned for Hudson, every grain of rice plated with care, and how I could not remember a single time he had said, good job. Upstairs, the bedroom had been stripped and remade with fresh linens. The air was thick with my favorite candle. All those tiny details, someone had put real thought into them. When the light went off, I burrowed into the soft new blanket and slept straight through till sunrise. Morning, my phone showed several missed calls, all from Hudson. WhatsApp was clogged with a dozen voice notes, the red badges peppering the screen. I frowned. I had zero desire to tap a single bubble. From the moment I walked out, continuing any conversation with him had become pointless. I flicked my thumb and deleted him entirely. That afternoon our Sterling Blake PR director, Chow Yoon, messaged me. Mrs. Blake, please come back, the company is falling apart. I had no intention of replying, but the bubble popped up again before I could leave the chat. Photos of Mr. He and Ms. Day entering a hotel suite on gala night are everywhere. Netizens claim Mr. His cheating drove you away, the bank has yanked its line of credit, our stock is plummeting, and the whole executive team is crammed in the war room, complete chaos. I opened the link she sent. The pictures were crystal clear, Hudson and Bella glued to each other, even the room number readable. The comment section was a soar of insults. I typed back, that's what PR is paid to fix. Mrs. Blake, we're out of moves. Even your divorce petition has been dug up. The only way out is for you to stand beside Mr. He and deny everything, together. I answered, tell Hudson if our current PR crew isn't up to the job, hire better. Don't bother me with this again. After sending that line, I deleted Chow Yoon too, then sipped the milk tea Ellis had brewed, sweet, just right. The next few days were blissfully quiet. I dove into learning how to run the Vance group. Most of the senior staff had watched me grow up. They were patient and kind. I found my footing quickly. That evening, as I stepped into the parking garage, a silhouette blocked my path. I looked up. Bella. The sugary smile was gone, her eyes were shards of ice. You released those photos, didn't you, Serena? Shameless. I met her gaze, voice cool. You walked into a hotel with a married man, and I'm the one without shame? So you admit it. Bella shrieked, fury vibrating through her. I thought you were a doormat who knew you were this calculating. She lunged, hand drawn back to slap me. I didn't flinch. Before her palm could land, my own swept through the air and cracked across her cheek, sharp, loud, final. You dare hit me. Bella clutched her face, shock blazing into hatred. I regarded her with open contempt. What exactly are you that I should be afraid to? She lifted her chin, voice shrill. Bitch, no wonder Hudson dumped you. I studied her cornered rat expression and laughed softly. And you? If he had one shred of integrity, he'd have given you a title by now. Would you still need to ambush me in a garage? Bella's mouth opened, then closed. Finally she spat, you know nothing. Hudson is thinking of the big picture. He said you're just a housewife who can't even carry a child. He wanted the divorce ages ago. Before I could answer, Hudson materialized, seizing Bella's arm. What the hell are you babbling about? I told you to wait in the car. Hudson, she hit me. Look, my face is swelling. Bella whined, tears wobbling on cue. For a second he looked pained, then his expression iced over. Go back to the car. I'll handle this. Bella shot me a venomous glare and slunk away, still cupping her cheek. Hudson stepped closer, tone softer than I expected. Serena, you're back in Riverdale and you didn't tell me? And since when do you work at Vance Group? Divorce details go through my lawyer, nothing else is your business, I said, too bored to even meet his eyes. His face tightened. What do you mean, not your businesses? We're husband and wife. Husband and wife. The words were almost funny, almost tragic. Not anymore, I murmured. It was a fake divorce, just to calm Bella down, remember? Hudson, divorce is divorce. We're not children playing house. I stared at him, unable to believe I had wasted years loving this man. Serena, are you still angry about the necklace? The pink diamond I gave Bella was bigger. Fine, come home with me right now and I'll buy you one twice the size. He reached for my hand. I jerked away as if stung, revolted. Grow up. I've handled more jewelry than you'll ever see. I don't want your stupid necklace, I don't want another second with you. Is that clear? I yanked my car door open, but he clamped his hand on mine. Serena, what's gotten into you? You defied your father for me, walked away from the Vance fortune to live on scraps. You loved me more than anything. You can't just erase that. The final sentence tore out of him raw. I met his bloodshot eyes, calm and unshakable. I was blind then. I see clearly now, Hudson. Listen close, Serena no longer wants you. He froze, as if the words were in a foreign language. You don't want me, correct? You make me sick. Get lost. I peeled his fingers off, slid into the seat, slammed the door, and floored the accelerator. In the rearview mirror I heard him roar, Serena. Fine, divorce it is. Divorce. I kept my eyes on the road and drove on. For almost a month Hudson left me alone. I poured every minute into Vance Group and finally understood how exhausted my father must have been, building this empire from nothing. I regretted every year I'd stayed away, time I could have spent beside him. That afternoon I was reviewing a new project file when I noticed Sterling Blake listed among our investees. I clicked deeper. Their very first venture, and every expansion round since, carried capital traced back to us, routed through shell companies. I called the VP in. He hesitated, searching my face. Serena, some things the chairman asked us not to mention. Speak, I ordered. He exhaled. After you left, the chairman was livid, he refused to hear your name. Then he learned you'd knelt in a blizzard all day begging investors, and lost the baby that night. He sat alone in his study till dawn. The next morning he told legal to funnel money into Sterling Blake through third parties. My breath caught. Every one of Mr. His projects since has been underwritten by the Vance family. The chairman said, the man's voice dropped. He said he couldn't bear watching you suffer. If Sterling Blake thrived, your life would be easier. After he left, I crumpled, tears streaming. All those years Hudson had swaggered, convinced he was a self-made genius, while Dad had quietly carried him. Later my lawyer rang. Hudson still refused to sign the divorce papers. "Mister," he says, "he's going to drag this out until you break." I hung up and stared at the company letterhead spelling out Blake in bold black ink. "He still won't sign?" "No matter. I have my ways." At the weekly executive meeting I announced the immediate withdrawal of all Vance capital from him holdings. The $1 billion fund, principal and interest, would flow straight back to the Vance Group. It was more than enough to let us spread our wings and widen our territory. The partner for the new project was chosen fast, a tech startup incorporated only last year. The same one Hudson had sneered was probably just some trust fund kid playing with family money. A month of due diligence showed the founder was a repatriated Silicon Valley caliber scientist, moneyed but brilliant, straight A's through marquee schools before launching his own company. High potential, high upside. We arranged to meet at a restaurant with real atmosphere. "Ms. Vance, I'm Chase of Lumitech." Chase was courtesy itself. I hadn't expected someone so accomplished to also be so handsome. Smiling, I offered my hand. "Mr. Payton." He pulled out my chair. "Please." The whole evening flew by in perfect harmony. Business came first, of course, but we slid naturally into lighter topics, and I discovered he was every inch the gentleman, mature beyond his years. In the end we traded contacts. "Stay in touch," he said, eyes smiling. I nodded, then lowered my gaze. Outside the restaurant we said goodnight and turned away. I was about to step into my car when a silhouette flickered at the edge of my vision. Before I could place it, a voice called from behind. "Serena." I didn't have to turn. I knew it was Hudson. The lovely evening ended right there. Without facing him I gave Chase a polite smile. "Mr. Payton, till next time." Chase dipped his head. "Next time." He walked toward his car, yet in my peripheral vision he paused and kept watching. Hudson threw his arms around me. "Serena, I'm begging you, I don't want a divorce. Let go. Have you lost your mind?" He was too strong. Locked against him I felt like a fish drowning in air. "No. Why should I let go of my own wife?" He was sobbing now, crushing me until the world started to blur. Suddenly a force hurled him backward. He staggered and hit the pavement. Gulping oxygen, I saw Chase. "Are you hurt?" he asked, bending toward me. I waved a hand, finally straightening. "Mr. Payton, why did you come back?" Chase flicked a glance at Hudson on the ground. "I saw that man grab you. Should I call the police?" "Police? I'm her husband. Who the hell are you to butt into our marriage?" Hudson roared, brushing off dust and advancing again. Instinctively I stepped back. Chase moved between us. He studied Hudson a beat, then arched a brow. "Ah, Mr. Blake." The tone was flat, as if confirming a stranger's face. Hudson froze. "You know me?" "No," Chase answered calmly, still shielding me. "I read the news. You were quite the headline recently." The whole business world knew about Hudson's hotel tryst with Bella. He'd become a cautionary tale. The jab hit home. Hudson's eyes reddened. "None of your damn business, get lost. Keep talking and I'll sue you into the ground." I stepped out from behind Chase and met Hudson's glare. "How many times must I tell you? I don't want you. Sign the papers and we both walk free." "I won't sign." "Serena, I've lost everything. Blake Holdings is finished, every deal's dead. I'm the penniless kid from 7 years ago again. All I have left is you. You can't abandon me." He dropped to his knees, wrapped his arms around my legs, and actually wailed. Ever since the Vance Group yanked its $1 billion investment, Blake Holdings hadn't merely lost money, it had lost its spine. Collapse was inevitable. I sighed. "You always claimed my father opposed us because you were poor. Tell me, once you got rich, how did you treat me?" Hudson cried harder. "I was possessed. I thought you'd love me no matter what, that you'd never leave. I was wrong, I'm sorry, I can't live without you. I love you, only you. Nothing happened with Bella. That night I just didn't want her to be alone. The lace thong was planted, she's trash, 3 divorces, bleeding every man dry. I went to her divorce hearing to protect her and she told her ex I was her new boyfriend. The photos came from him." Suddenly his eyes lit up. "Right, it must be him who sabotaged my company. Looking down, I spoke each word like ice. No. It was me. He jerked his head up. What are you saying? Ignoring the revolting endearment, I answered with quiet brutality. Everything Blake Holdings became, my father quietly lifted. Now that we're nothing, the Vance billion comes home. Hudson sat frozen, snot and tears streaking his face. I kicked free, he toppled. Serena, you viper. No wonder you walked away empty-handed. You and your father set the trap. You're shoving me back into the gutter. I reminded him coldly, without the Vance family, you never left it. All color drained from him. Then his head snapped up, eyes unhinged. I won't accept it. Who gave you the right to hand out or snatch away dreams? Serena, don't forget, if I hadn't saved you from those punks years ago, you'd be dead. He lunged. The bodyguard's chase had pinned him to the asphalt, forcing him to his knees, bloodshot gaze fixed on me. I stepped forward, voice steady. 7 years of marriage, consider the debt paid. At the joint press conference announcing the Lumitech-Vance alliance, I wore a white skirt suit, soft waves brushing my shoulders. Beside me stood Chase, tall and razor-sharp in charcoal wool. Flashbulbs popped non-stop, recording the historic handshake. I offered my hand, he closed his around it. Ms. Vance, here's to us. To us. During the celebration my lawyer sent a clip. On a litter-strewn sidewalk Hudson ranted at strangers. Bo, when you pass the CEO of Blake Holdings. Where's your manners? We're going global, buying this whole damn city for my wife. She believed in me when I had nothing. Hey, where is she? Serena. Serena. He careened into traffic, disrupting cars. I noticed the filthy suit he wore was the first one I'd bought him after our wedding. I shut the video mid-sentence. Only the divorce mattered now. My attorney texted back. Court granted the divorce today, effective immediately. Thanks, Jew. Find him a decent psychiatric facility. Keep him off the streets. Will do. I pocketed the phone. Chase approached, champagne flutes glittering in his hands, smile bright as sunrise, beautiful, warm, new.